Touch the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a roll call?
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Curtis is excused. Commissioner Deeb.
Here.
Commissioner Duval is excused. Commissioner Douglas.
Here.
Commissioner Helmut.
Here.
Commissioner Staley.
Here. If I could get a motion to excuse Commissioners Curtis and Duval from the meeting.
I make a motion to excuse Mr. Duval and Mr. Curtis.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of the agenda.
Madam Chairman, I would make a motion that we approve the agenda for tonight's tonight's meeting, dated September 6th.
Do I have any support?
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of August 16, 2016.
I would second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Correspondence. The code enforcement officer's report, and the McKenna bill, and a memo from the manager. All kinds of stuff. Want to start Ray? The ZBA public hearing notice. All right, get a motion to receive and file.
Madam Chairman, I would make that motion. Receive and file the correspondence received to this meeting.
Motion and support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. No presentations. Take a motion to open the public hearing regarding outdoor dining text amendment for year-round option. Chris, do you want to say anything before the motion?
Well, I guess if there's any questions from the public, I'll take them. The planning commission has gone over this and approved the language already.
If I get a motion to open the public hearing, please.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing on outdoor dining amendment.
Support.
Motion and support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. If anyone in the public has any comments or questions regarding the amendment to the zoning ordinance? If not, I'll make need a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for outdoor dining.
I would second that motion, Madam Chairman.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And old business, outdoor dining, suggested language text amendment. Everyone's read it? I think we've killed it today. If everyone's okay with the language, we'll need a motion to recommend it to the village council to amend the zoning ordinance. There's nothing new that we haven't gone over 22.
No, there isn't.
Service.
Not that I've seen.
Nothing changed.
Madam Chairman, I would make a motion that we accept the wording of the outdoor dining suggested language and make recommendation to the village council that that be adopted into the zoning ordinance.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Master plan review and recommendation.
All right, so, Madam Chair, can I take it from here?
I'm not Madam Chair. Just tell me. Yes, you can do it
For
over
the
there.
next like 15 minutes.
I know.
So the action on your agenda tonight is to review the changes to the document that were discussed at the last meeting. I'm just going to go through them quickly. And then if they are all acceptable to everyone, then to recommend the master plan for adoption to village council, which could happen at their next meeting. So I'm just gonna go through the changes. Please stop me if I recorded one wrong, or you disagree, or you need to discuss anything further. First one is to eliminate on-street parking on Glassby North of Burdick. Second, remove the one-way Stanton-Dennison conversion from the future transportation plan map, and instead including text saying that one-way conversion will happen if only if necessary for a traffic light at Washington and Stanton-Dennison, and that the direction of the one-way conversion will be determined at that time by a traffic study if necessary. Change the reduced parking area to the shared parking area, and clarify the system of reduced parking requirements in exchange for public access to the new parking that's going to be proposed. Next, state specifically that the new road south of Marketplace will be for local truck access to the Glassby industrial area. Next, add traffic calming improvements on Glassby north of the industrial area. Next, add stronger language to the M24 vision pages regarding healthy street trees, lower truck speeds, and other noise reduction measures. Next, add a recommendation to hire a traffic engineer to study West Burdick Street and make recommendations for a redesign of the road. Next, allow PUDs on 98 Glassby in certain circumstances. Next, change the future land use designation where there are existing industrial business on Lock Street to industrial. Next, revise the future land use maps that existing structures on East Street and Hudson Street are no longer planned exclusively for parking. Include general language about development incentives and redevelopment plans. Insert a recommendation to develop a working list of available national, state, and county development incentives. Discuss the possibility of local development incentives such as gap financing via Oxford Bank, tax abatements, land assembly, etc. Make sure townhouses and small apartment buildings are allowed in the Hudson-Dennison area. Add a west alley between the northwest quadrant parking lot and Davison Street. Make sure that proposed changes to C1 transition and CO district allow a wide range of residential, and add clear examples of design features to make sure residential uses can fit with commercial uses in the context of the CO district. Is everyone on board with those changes?
I only have one question, and you might be the one to ask. Where it says, state specifically that the new road south of the Marketplace will be for local truck access to the Glassby industrial area.
Yeah.
Will there be cars allowed on that road at all? I'm not sure what that meant.
Yes, I don't think we're gonna, the idea isn't to prohibit traffic, but it's to make it clear in the master plan that that's supposed to be a truck route, so when it's built, it's constructed to truck route standards.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Then we're looking for a motion.
Now, Chris, I'm sorry. Chris, obviously, this does not incorporate the language per se that would go into the
No, I
master
need
plan.
to
This
actually.
is really just a list of items that will be added to or changed.
Yes.
within the
And if you'd like to see the actual language, you could take this one more meeting. If you're comfortable knowing that this is the meaning of that language, then you can put it to council now, and I'll make the revisions and get it to them.
I'll make sure we get a copy of the language.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to see it.
Sure.
I don't know if it's necessary to carry it on to another meeting or not, but certainly I'd like to see it.
Absolutely. Of course, it's a public document, and I'll have it done in the next 48 hours, and we can send it around by email to the planning commissioner so you can see it.
Of course, I appreciate that.
Okay.
I'm looking for a motion to forward the master plan to the village council for adoption at the next regular council meeting.
Madam Chairman, I would make a motion that we approve the changes to the master plan that are listed here in this document dated August 17th, and then forward those changes to the master plan once they're completed to the village council for adoption.
Support.
A motion and support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. East Burdick DDA development, land unit development, Dave Wetzel.
Just a quick update on that. We did receive revised plans from Mr. Weckel's team. The site plan that was revised to cover all of the revisions required by the planning commission. So the site plan is now in very good shape, but the PUD itself will go to the village council next Tuesday for their decision. If that decision is positive, then the site plan will be approved then.
So we just have an update, there's no action required?
Yeah, no action required.
So Chris, this information that's been provided to us is a true site plan. Is that correct? And it's
Yes.
over and above what we saw last time on the
It has
drawings?
been, yes, and I don't think you, do they have in front of them? What was submitted last week?
We have copies.
Oh, you do,
that are-
okay, yes, that is improved from last time with, especially with the, I think it was 8 changes that you required.
Okay,
I went through it today and they were all made.
okay.
By 11, it's
So action on the required.
Just receive the file.
Okay. Because this has already been approved.
The planning commission approved it, right? But we had changes.
We had changes,
This is just
right,
the
okay.
changes.
Yeah, so this way you can see that the conditions were met.
Of course, I appreciate that. All right.
I'll entertain a motion to receive and file.
Make a motion to receive and file.
A motion to support. All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. New business, resignation of John Duval. Everybody has the letter in front of them. I just need a motion to accept with regrets. Or we don't accept and they can continue to come in here.
I'm looking for the letter.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation letter of John Duval dated August 29, 2016.
Support.
Motion and support. All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Election of chairperson. Now again, Jack Curtis is not in the room, so he's always available as an option.
That was kind of quiet in here.
I make a motion that we elect Gary Douglas to be the new chairperson for the planning commission.
I believe Bonnie. And I will support that. So we have a motion and support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 2 months on the planning
Boy,
commission,
that's
ruler of the
You've
world.
all had a great exit.
Boy, that thing couldn't have looked any better,
You had a great exit strategy.
Seriously.
Public comment. Does anyone have comment on anything?
Thank God for group text.
Yeah.
You know, it just dawned on me, there was no public comment earlier in our agenda. I didn't even notice. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, okay, I'm glad you reminded of the process, so now I speak to Mr. Douglas, correct?
It doesn't matter.
Mo's going to chair this meeting.
All right.
I'm going to defer to her at this
All right.
meeting.
So, Madam Chairman, I realize that I'm too late for the master plan updates in terms of your approval of them to go to the council. However, I did not see this until late, and I have some questions that I'd like to have answered. The first question I have, and this is just specifically for master plan, I have a different question on meeting minutes. But to allow PUDs on 98 Gillespie in certain circumstances. So when I read the initial master plan updates back in June that were forwarded to me, it had stated that no PUDs would go against the density requirements of an RM1. So obviously, anybody who knows me here knows that I'm against any high-density multifamily. But I'd like to ask, what are the certain circumstances where the PUDs would now be allowed?
Let's see, what was discussed? It was discussed that, we still want to keep the density in check. That's clear. But the language that said no PUDs will be allowed on this site was considered by some to be too harsh. And that maybe a PUD might be necessary for single-family development where, because of the shape of the lot, one of the lots had to be a little smaller, or we wanted to get a little bit more density than we would normally allow, or something like that in single-family.
Okay.
But the idea would be that multiple family would still be discouraged by the master plan from being, from increasing over the required or permitted density.
Okay, because in the master plan it also states to change that zone potentially to single family as opposed to what it is right now as recreation. So that's what I was hoping for. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't planned for a high-density multifamily to be proposed?
That single-family portion is still in there, and that's still the plan.
Then the only thing that I would request to think about, and again, I know this is now going to go to village council, is I would ask to really go through what that means, because I understand that a
Sure.
PUD can mean my dream, which would be recreation. A PUD can mean a lot of things. I'm just fearful that it would mean the same battle that we went through before the high density. So that's what I just wanted to have clarified, so thank you very much. The other thing that I wanted to ask, and tell me if this is not the appropriate place to ask it.
Kelly, I'd like to interrupt you if you don't mind.
Sure.
I'd like to remind you, if I could, that I think that this commission is here to serve the community, and that we pay a lot of attention to what members of the community say. And so in exercising your right to come here and speak to us, that carries a tremendous voice, and I hope you understand that.
I appreciate that.
It's, I want you to know that your opinions and your thoughts are not falling on deaf ears. And that, without public input, we're working on our own.
Right.
And you're leading us to our own design, if you will. But if you come here and speak to us and let us know what you and members of your community are thinking or feeling, that carries a great deal of weight, at least as far as I'm concerned.
And I appreciate that very, very much. And unfortunately, I had really wanted to be involved more so in the master plan updates up until this point.
We happen to have a vacancy on the commission. I just thought I'd mention that.
So until I can get through the next 8 to 10 weeks of my schooling, and they're always on Tuesday nights, which is the reason why I can't attend commission and village most of the time, and I skip that night. It's definitely something that I would hope to consider and
Sure.
But no, and Gary, thank you very much, I appreciate that. My other question, and tell me if this is the wrong place or if I should go to somebody else, but in the meeting minutes, under public comment, it says Chuck Schneider discussed the 5 classification of zoning. And I just was curious as to what that is.
Generally, it's residential, multiple family, public, commercial, and industrial.
So everything that I
Those
see,
are the basics.
everything I see in the zoning regulations today.
Yeah.
And was there anything specific about those classifications that he was referencing?
I didn't go back and look.
And again, this is
Do
something
you remember
that's,
anything, Chris?
This is the last,
it was from the August 16th minutes?
I don't remember him being,
he may have also been talking about the various commercial classifications we have in the village, because his properties work within a number of them, and he has pushed the village to simplify and make them more consistent with each other, because he's in CO in some cases, in C1 transition in others, and things like that. So that may have been also what he was talking about.
I don't remember at all.
No, and that I appreciate. I was just curious. I just wanted to know. So that's all my questions, and I thank everybody for their time.
Thank you.
Anyone else? That was the longest part of our meeting, thanks. Entertain a motion to, Jack's not here today to give us a township update. Chris, anything?
There was a brief mention in Cranes, Detroit, that the state legislature may take up medical marijuana in the fall session. So I just wanted to give you that brief update.
Thank you for that. And Commissioner comments. Adam?
Okay.
Bonnie? Gary? Gary? Sucker?
Maybe, I hope not. First and foremost, I want to thank you all for your confidence that you show me
He'll do.
in having a rookie become chairperson. It's an intimidating responsibility, and unfortunately, what we've lost in losing John is a great deal of experience and prior knowledge. And I don't know if that's necessarily a component of a requirement for a commission or a chairperson, but fortunately, I have plenty of help. And the rest of you, and I'll depend upon all of you to help guide me. And I've always had a very open policy. I take criticism very well. I do. And I look
We'll
forward.
see.
I look forward to serving you, and I thank you again for your confidence.
And I have nothing, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:20.
I support.
Motion and support, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
It's
carried.
easy.